Good morning and welcome back to Almus Market Mornings. While we discuss the tariff related updates every day, we don't have Pankaj on the podcast every day. He's an expert on interest rates, so I want to ask him a question on that. Pankaj, good morning. I'm sure you'll cover the data and the global updates, but lately many market participants have been anticipating more aggressive rate cuts by the RBI in future meetings. How do you read the rates market as of now?
Thank you, Swaraj. No, I'm really, I would say that uh, lucky that I'm probably closing the year-end podcast today. And on the behalf of all the listener, I wish you a very happy birthday, Swaraj.
Thank you,
And
Pankaj.
it's been great working with you. Uh, Coming to the rates market, let me tell you that I've spent almost 20 years in the rate markets, and pre 2008, India used to have a kind of a 2% interest rate differential with the US. Then we had a sudden crisis, and these 2% interest rate differential became a kind of a history. We moved to an interest rate differential closer to something around 3.5%, 4%. Then COVID happened. In COVID, due to our lesser fiscal stimulus than the other global market, we again moved back to kind of a interest rate differential of around 2% or 2.5%. But this time it looks like very awesome for the market like India. Uh, it looks like that our inflation would be in the range of a 1.5% to the developed market, and that's probably with the US. Uh, it looked like that we might have a rate cuts because rate cuts now looks like a more coming because of an inflation downturn, slowdown in economy. Uh, but at the same point of a time, what we are going through, and probably China is going through, due to such a lower yield environment there, they are not able to attract a large sum of money from the US investors. So India will also be keeping that eye on the interest rates. What is the a kind of equilibrium where we keep getting money from the international markets and we propel our growth also. So I think yes, there the rate cuts are good possibility during this calendar year, but I don't see more than two. April, because since we have cut in February and the inflation number has been lower, definitely we are going to get definitely I assign a higher probability of a 2% one rate cut in April of a 25 basis, two rate cut during the calendar year. We For us it again and for us it basically being the market participants uh, in the global financial market, May meeting will become a very crucial for the Fed, whether they really click and say that we are heading toward a downturn and the rate cuts starts, or they stay hold that inflation is still a concern. So that would be a major development. At the same point of time, what we are going through in Europe due to a large fiscal stimulus announcement, due to infrastructure development expenditure on and defense expenditure, expected defense expenditure. We have seen a good upticks in European yields, and probably the short-term rates have also kind of a rate cuts have receded in the short-term rates. That's the overall picture on the rates in the global rate market. Coming back to normal commentary, it's basically dollar rupee. We are seeing that the RBI or probably the market dynamics itself playing between the 85.60 to 85.90 range. We think that that range will be staying today as well at the year end, and then we will have a kind of a uncertainty which is kicking in the next week itself on a tariff. The latest one, which basically came from Trump administration, is a 25 basis on auto parts from from all the markets to the US. That 2nd April is the date where we are expecting most of the tariffs are coming into picture. Reciprocal tariffs announcement are also likely. I was hearing today morning S. Jaishankar, our foreign minister, external, external affairs minister actually. He clearly hinted that our team is still there in US. I think Commerce Minister is staying there, and the negotiations are on. He also highlighted one very important thing, that the dynamics of a conversation between US and India have changed significantly. Uh, we are seeing a openness from the US with respect to a defense, with respect to oil. Oil, we are basically a large importer, large consumer. So we need to have access on all kind of oil markets. So these are the few developments. which have been actually being looked at this point of time between Indian administration and US administration. If you look at the theoretical side, probably India might attract the highest reciprocal tariff. So let's see how it unfolds. Uh, there have been continuous FII flow coming in India. Suddenly, there's a kind of a 3.8 billion USD has come into Indian markets, Indian equity markets. Let's see how it moves into the first, basically the new financial year. Investors, international investors, Indian investors would be looking an eye basically on tariff announcements from a White House. We are seeing a kind of a looking back at the euro and other yields, basically or the USD index. We are hovering around 104.30, 40 for last couple of days. It's a quarter end. I believe that probably euro will be in the range of a 1.0750 to 1.083040 till this quarter end. Uh, After such a basically large move from a 1.04 to 1.09 or maybe 1.0150 to 1.09, a kind of a consolidation happening. Looks like there is some steam still left in the euro. Yesterday in GDP, Q4 GDP announcement came in USA. It came at 2.4, which is slightly better than 2.3. And PC inflation, people would be looking at today the numbers closer to, I think, 2.3 or 2.4. Actually, I've not tracked PC inflation in a better way, but that's the number is expected today. And that's the basically Fed favorite indicator. And that decides the overall interest rate or basically rate cuts by the Fed. Um, what else I can cover? Oh, the important thing, Sona सबसे महंगा है सोना जैसा जो भी whatever the song is. सबका प्यारा Sona is at all-time high in Indian markets also in the global market also. We are trading at 3070 dollars per ounce. It looked like we would be moving towards 3,300 in couple of months. The uptrend looks like very strong. And the other precious metal, it seems that the buyers are now putting up their interest in silver as well. A kind of a break of 35 can lead it to the 40. That's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you, Pankaj, for that comprehensive coverage. And just as we end the financial year, we are facing quite a bit of uncertainty, especially next week onwards. We have tariff related updates. We have got the auto tariffs kicking in on April 2nd. At the same time, reciprocal tariffs. The impact on India will also be significant, but at the same time, as Jaishankar mentioned, that Indian team is in the US trying to negotiate hard to get some favorable terms. Domestically, we are getting some FII flows into India, $3.5 billion worth of flows. And the data to look out for today would be the PCE from the US, which is the Fed's preferred inflation gauge. That's it from us today. Thanks for listening. Have a very good weekend, and we'll catch up with you on Monday with the fresh round of updates. Thanks for listening.